Cody, do you want to touch it? Taste it?
Do you dare me? No, I'm not gonna taste it. I'll touch it. All right. Double dog dare me, right?
I double dog dare you.
All right. Right here.
RISEUP Paranormal hit the road to take on some ghosts in New York. Their stops were right off the Hudson River in Congers and Garnerville. Well, that and to start a successful band. It ended up just being ghost hunting. I know, shocking, right?
I was keeping the beat!
Ken, Chris, Cody, and Julie had 2 places to investigate in 2 nights. Both locations were private homes, which is new to Paranormal Truth. Yay us!
I bought it the night before Halloween, and I was looking for an old house, and it turned out that it's much older than I had anticipated. It has a lot of history. So I kind of knew from the age before the closing. Once I went through the house, I had no idea it was 3 separate houses combined into one.
There's not been any malicious interactions. There have been doors opening on their own, objects being moved, and there was a very visual experience for Bob one early morning.
I was laying in bed, and it was early in the morning, and I thought one of my boys came from their mom's house when she moved out. And I saw the door open, I heard the door. I saw a figure come in. It was within a half of a second, but I didn't see who it was. Actually, it looked like a woman, but I just assumed one of my boys were picking up their homework real quick before they get on the bus. So 20 seconds or so, they didn't say hello, so I said, hey, I called their name out, and no one answered, so I got out of bed. I'm looking everywhere. The door was locked from the inside, and there was nobody in the house in that 30-second period. And I saw it open, I heard it close. It has a door knocker that gives that little kick, and all that happened. So that was the visual that I had of a figure.
Hearing that story, Ken and Chris wanted to try and debunk Bob's experience in order to eliminate anything not paranormal.
All right, so I'm on my back. I'm watching TV actually down there. The TV says it wasn't hanging, so. All right, so I'm pretty much ready to get his perspective whenever you're ready to come in. Chris? 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 Okay, so, all right. Chris, this time I mean it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, so here's the deal, right? I'm in bed, out of my peripheral, I can see the door. Yeah. Obviously, I can hear the door. You don't come in. You come in with a purpose. Yeah. So if I'm him, I'm like, okay, is something wrong, or how come you didn't say anything? Yeah. Right? So I can definitely see that from his perspective. So if he comes out and there's nobody here.
Could you see me at all by the time you, because I was quick.
Peripherally, I can see you, but you're coming by me so fast because you're just, you're not just kind of hanging around the door or doing anything slow.
And there's no way you know who that is?
No, I mean, I can see you from there because TV at one point was over here. So, other peripheral, I see the door, but by the time I look, the door's already closing, and obviously you can hear it. So I can't explain what it is that he saw, but there's no way that you mistake that for something else.
No, it's not wind. It's
No.
not. It's not.
No, there's
It's
no
not a door that's not shut all the way shutting or
No.
anything like that.
Then it was time to investigate. RISEUP would break into teams of 2 later, but first they hit the basement as a full crew.
Now, when the last time we were here, you got a female talking. Is this where you were?
Yeah,
Yeah, we were over here.
All right, and then, okay.
I was right here.
Yep.
I was right here.
Yep, okay. Anybody down here with us?
Referring to anyone who perhaps has lived at this location and has passed on, or worked in this location has passed on, familiar with this location and perhaps visiting. We know there's the Suffering name and the Powers name, and plenty of other names that we don't even know of. Perhaps you passed away here.
Well, let's talk a little bit about how the house used to look. Was there an entrance on that end of it that I'm pointing to right now? Did you come in that way? I mean, we're asking because honestly, this is all we know. We don't know what it looked like before. We're trying to figure things out. I know that the owner has kind of tunneled through here behind me. I know that the owner has kind of tunneled through here behind me.
So there is a response to Ken mentioning that Bob has dug through a wall in the basement to enlarge it. RISEUP heard yes when they went over the evidence after the investigation. As you could see, none of us heard it in the moment.
I know that the owner has kind of tunneled through here behind me. Now, this is more than one house at one point. Property was a little bit bigger. If you want to use that ball that lights up to answer the questions, if that's easy, you can go ahead and do that.
I've never seen it light up. Is there a way you could light it up for me? I don't even know where it is.
Simple question. Is anybody here with us right now in spirit?
Yeah.
If you are, go ahead and give that a try. Move it around, make it light up like it did before. Show us how you did that. How did you do that? Did you go over and move it? Did you just touch it? That ball right in front of the dog.
I wonder.
There's one on top of the boiler too.
Oh, there's one over here.
This is cool. On this side of the house, the newer side, see the saw cuts?
Yeah, you'll see this.
Yeah, you see it like through like a sawmill.
And the floor, you're gonna see that tunnel.
The ones on the other side, on the older side, have the hatchet marks.
Yeah. And you know this 40s, they did.
See what I mean? You get the circle of the saw, even on the bottom, and those down there. Absolutely. See? Semicircle of the saw on the newer part, down there. Hatchet marks. Like every piece of it hacked out. That's really cool. That was somebody else. I know it wasn't me. I didn't touch him. Somebody touch him? That was somebody else. I know it wasn't me.
That was all for the full crew investigation, but when Ken and Chris were trying to recreate Bob's experience from earlier, Cody and Julie were down in the basement alone. Here is some of what they experienced.
If you're over there and you just don't know how to do it, can you tell us that? On the count of 3, could you just make a noise saying, I don't know how to do that? Any kind of noise you can do anywhere down here. 1, 2, 3. And they've asked us to come back.
Ball.
Okay. And I don't think anything's moving here. This room's pretty solid. Okay. So maybe you went up and touched the ball.
Thank you. In this house, as well as the property, I think there's a base going by car.
Oh, there goes the ball again. Now I'm just wondering, just with a car going by, if there's any relationship. I doubt it.
Yeah.
It's not like a big heavy truck or anything.
I'm just gonna test. Let's see. Okay, this is me knocking on the table.
Okay. I thought you'd definitely be able to make it go on.
Try to fold.
Yeah, that's pretty solid tape.
It's kind of cool that the ball isn't going off right now, because that just solidifies for me that when it was going off before, there might have been something to it.
While Ken and Chris worked the other side of the basement, Cody and Julie went up to the second floor.
So Bob was telling us, the person that lives here now, who owns the home, he was telling us that this door has occasionally opened and closed. And we're wondering if you can show us how you do that. So I know we've come in here and asked you a lot of questions, asked you to do a lot of things for us, and I hope we're not bothering you in any way, making you feel uncomfortable in any way. We're not trying to make you do that at all. We come with the utmost respect for you. And we just want to talk. We want to learn a little bit about you. We'll have to see what's directly under us when we go downstairs. I want to say it's like the kitchen hallway area. Right, yeah, so it's probably that little hallway that goes into the kitchen. No, I'm standing completely still.
I think it's probably right below these stairs, I'm guessing.
Right. Yeah, so it's probably a little hallway.
Mm-hmm.
This is the kitchen.
Is that you?
No.
The only little knocks that come from me is under the floorboard right here.
That wasn't the only knocking that Cody and Julie caught on the second floor.
You see my friend Ken going downstairs? Kind of triggers something. Something nice and loud and clear. I don't know if that was one of them. Knocking something away, whatever it is.
I thought you were walking. It was like banging right behind me.
I'm not moving at all.
There it was again.
Is that you? Thank you very much if that's you. What was that?
Pretty cool, right? And the added disembodied voice at the end was amazing. That helps transition into the last 2 pieces of evidence from the second floor.
I think what I might do, I'm gonna sit on the stairs here.
Needless to say, there was plenty of activity at Bob Masaiello's house. Now, while you skeptics watching this obsess over this evidence, we are moving on to the second night location.
One day I was coming home from work to let my dogs out, and I came through here and I had to run because I had to get back to work. So I ran through this hallway and went through the kitchen. I let the dogs out, I watched them, make sure they were okay, put them away, and then I was running back out and I heard this noise, this music. So 5 minutes earlier there was no music. I heard the music coming from over here, and it was this little music box right here on the shelf. And I could touch it here. And apparently all of a sudden the little drawer was pulled out like that. And I had never touched that since I put it there like a year and a half ago. So it was playing, I never wound it. So I just kind of closed it. The music stopped and I went on my way.
Is there any significance to that music box at all?
I know it was just given to me by my son, and it was kind of put with actually some things that were found in the house. There's some things in the walls that we had found, so it was close to that area. Another thing that happened is for about a 7 to 10 day period, in the middle of the night, one of the, a radio that we have in the kitchen was playing Louis Armstrong. Here it is. So this radio was going on at about 2 a.m. in the morning, as loud as you can hear. Woke us up, you know, in the morning, I mean in the middle of the night, just for about 7 to 10 days, and then it stopped. So
Every night?
Every night, Louis Armstrong. And I had a group of people coming, and while we were getting ready, upstairs we were here and we we're getting stuff ready at the bar here, and my husband had the radio on. We was playing with the radio, getting it ready, just having some music on, and there were a couple of people here, and the radio was on, and there was a jingle from the radio, whatever it is, and then all of a sudden, no sound at all, and then we're here, and then silence, and then the radio just kept talking. This originally was actually 2 rooms kind of like this, and I had opened it up, but supposedly in this area, when there was this room, this is where the woman with the green dress had been seen. And it was someone who seemed to be taking care of a child, maybe looked like a nurse or a maid outfit, and that's basically what what I've been told. So it's kind of in this area, but I have never seen it.
While Diane gave our camera this tour, RISEUP investigators had some activity going on right behind us in a side room.
It was actually 2 rooms kind of like this, and I had opened it up, but supposedly in this area, when it was this room, this is where the woman with the green dress had been seen. And it was someone who seemed to be taking care of a child, maybe looked like a nurse or a maid outfit, and that's basically what what I've been told. So it's kind of in this area, but I have never seen it.
So do you feel safe here at home?
I do, because on my phone, the only time I did feel safe was with those chains, because that was horrible. And I asked the medium about that, and she said that she thinks it was kind of like a hitchhiker ghost that came along with somebody to the party and decided to stay, because I had never had anything so aggressive before happen. And so when I guess she said when you tell them to get out, and they were supposed to get out. That was easy. That's good. And then the other thing is the medium did say that there was kind of an evil thing going on in the basement, and that she damaged.
Somebody walking over.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
What the?
Nothing to check if there's any kind of branches or something. It might be a grove.
Yeah, I got a strange feeling. I
Can't
told
believe
Julie.
that.
And we're done?
So,
And we're done.
So after that appetizer, RISEUP went to work investigating the Tortoise house.
All right, hello to anybody who might be here with us tonight. My name is Ken, and I have my friend Julie with me here. So we just wanted to take a little time to introduce ourselves. And what we're going to be doing tonight, really, is we are going to try to reach across. We're going to try to communicate to anyone who is capable and who is willing to do so. We are not here to ask you to entertain us. We are not here to ask you to do parlor tricks. We're here with the utmost respect for you. We're talking to anyone in spirit form or any energy form or whatever form that you find yourself in right now. That if you want to send a message and you want to communicate with us, then I want you to feel free to do so. You're among friends here. I understand that this radio plays by itself sometimes, specifically by one artist. So I'm wondering if you have an affinity for this particular musician. So to kind of honor you, we just wanted to play a little something for you.
Looking at Jeep Grand Cherokee, you should consider the
And we got to go through this first. Does that song have any meaning to you, specifically? Is that from an era in your life that you were fond of? Or do you just enjoy the music of Louis Armstrong? I think we all do too. Or do you just enjoy the music of Louis Armstrong? I think we all do too. Is it possible that you can say something? Can you vocalize something? Can you use your voice? I promise you, you have my word, I can hear you. Go ahead and try. I'm talking about something like this. Could you possibly mimic or do something like this?
All these little balls on the bar here, this table, you just move them, they light up. That lets me know that you're here. The dog, you just go near it, touch it. It'll go off, it'll light up.
okay. Did you do that? Thank you very much.
Yeah, so see that these devices are just here. And you can try this one over here, it's the same exact ball.
Very simple.
Now Cody over there is holding devices that help him hear you. The bar here, this table, you just move them, they light up. That lets me know that you're here. The dog, you just go near it, touch it. It'll go off, it'll light up.
Did you do that? Thank you very much.
Yeah, so see that these devices are just here. So this will amplify your voice, make it louder. And perhaps we'll get to talk to you. And really that's our goal today. I want to know who you are. If you're a Snideker,
We've come a long way.
We're from Rhode Island.
Yeah, to come and talk to you. So if you could just take a few moments, you know, it would be an honor just to hear a little bit about your life and why you're here, why you're still here. It's a beautiful home.
What do you think of the home? It's changed a lot since 1740. And Daniel and Garrett.
Chris.
I heard that.
The back. The back of me is very cold or something.
Have you ever just, and this is a question I've actually never asked, have you ever just wanted a hug? Do you miss that? Do you miss human embrace? If you miss the simple concept of a hug, could you move one of these balls? I really want to know, because I'm fearful that when I pass, that's something I would miss. Can you move this one closest to me? Or maybe the one furthest away from me?
Feeling that like spider web effect. I think I can feel you right now.
Can you let Cody know if that's you? That's you. Could I come over there too? I don't want to, I mean, if you're with Cody and you feel comfortable, could I come over too? Maybe light up one of those balls so I can go over there? I don't want to intrude.
I've never felt this before in my life. This is the strangest feeling.
I'm gonna come over and I hope I'm not intruding. Maybe that was a no, not to go over. Was that a no? Do you want me to push back?
It's kind of going away.
Do you want us to go in one of those other rooms? We can go in one of these other rooms. We'll leave the balls here if you want to play with them and the dog. What room should I go?
Chris just had is tough to describe. We may have cameras and microphones present, but they don't document any proof. All I know for sure is that these two guys don't ever get this kind of experience, let alone talk about it.
something simple. Is this a man? Is there a male in this room? All sorts of things going on.
What was that?
I don't know.
Did you feel the light?
Right.
Your hand on the table.
Is this a gentleman that I'm speaking to? Start with something simple. Is this a man? Is there a male in this room? All sorts of things.
What was that?
I don't know.
Did you feel the light?
Right.
Your hand on the table.
Is it a woman in this room? Is there a woman attached to this house? Is it a child? Are you just curious about things? Are you trying things out? If there's a child here, I will tell you, you are safe with us. No need to be afraid of us. Please don't be afraid of us. I don't want anyone to be afraid of us.
After all the action Chris and Cody experienced up in the bar room, Ken and Julie headed up there to investigate further. It wasn't long before something happened either.
Oh, I thought they said something. Go and turn this off.
Okay.
I don't know.
Hey, right, Ken, we heard something.
Yeah.
Right before that went off. Again, it was like a female voice, and it was a couple of consonants. We had to show RISEUP's camera footage only. Why? Because I wasn't recording yet. This is the part where Chris will end up texting me when he sees this and telling me how dumb I was for not recording. But don't feel bad for me, though. The reason he's referred to as a pirate is all my fault.
Hello, whoever lives here. Thought we'd come up and say hello. How are you tonight? Our friends were just telling us they had a nice chat up here. So, we thought we would come up and say hello too. I'm Ken, this is Julie, and that's Dan. So, we've been downstairs, and what we've been trying to do is reach out to whomever might be here in spirit, whatever energies are here. We wanted to say hello. Want to extend our good wishes to you. It's been it's a beautiful home. Very nice people. So we come to these things often, and we travel around different places. We're asked to come in to bring some of these things you see here now, and to find out if anybody who's crossed over or passed on would like to speak to us, send a message. The young man that was up here before Cody, did anybody here try to give him a hug? Is anything that you ever wanted to say, just go ahead, say it. You pointing the camera at me?
Mm-hmm. What?
I saw a flash of somebody go by that left
The
door.
lights are blinking up. Where'd you see the flash?
Well, what happened?
No, the lights were blinking up on the bar. Is that what you saw?
No, somebody, I was like, it wasn't a shadow.
Flash where?
Did you see it that door?
Going right to left out of for the first door. It was like, you ever see that TV show, The Shadow, the Flash?
Well, both Both cameras are covering both doors, this and this.
All right.